Welcome back, everyone, to the All Sports Network. So I want to talk about the Warriors today and their future. So, honestly, seeing KD, and him come back from his Achilles injury, now there's no doubt in my mind that Clay will be either at 100% or close to 100%. Of course, that's just what I assume will happen. I could be totally wrong. You know, a lot of people were saying, "Oh my gosh, like, when you're a freak athlete, it takes away your speed." The thing is, though, Klay Thompson, he wasn't really a freak athlete, like really not. He wasn't the fastest guy. He wasn't the strongest guy. He didn't have he didn't have crazy hops or anything. I do believe that he will be fine and he will be great. And with him being great, though, I feel like that makes Draymond better, and that will make Steph Curry's job a lot easier next year. So, yep, they're gonna go. They're gonna be contenders next year for sure. It's probably only gonna take like 3 games for people to realize that. Right now, Clay. It's been a while. It's been a very long time. And I feel like a lot of people have forgotten how good he is. I mean, this guy for Golden State, he was the one guarding the best player. He was, the second best shooter in the league and in NBA history. And I don't even know why that's still a debate. I know people love Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, but Clay's better than them shooting wise. And we have to talk about just the amount of assets that the Warriors have. The draft wise, they're looking pretty good, honestly. They're looking pretty good, and money wise, it's Wiggins, and then look at a few smaller contracts and whatnot though, and a lot of people could say, Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal, he's like in every trade scenario, but in this case, you have to be realistic. They're not gonna go for. I feel like they really won't go for the names. They won't pull like a 76ers. It's like, oh, Al Horford, whatever. I my theory is either they're gonna go for a center, or to be honest with you, they're probably just gonna do the main three and then fill out the rest of the roster. They got guys like Jordan Poole and Juan Toscano. Like these guys are pretty good, honestly. Like off the bench and whatnot, though. And I like them. Like and a lot. Like very minor complaints with those guys. And with their roles, you know, sure they could probably swing for an all star or whatever though. But I mean, they honestly might not need to. The West isn't. There aren't there are no super teams. It's like it's either a duo or um, an all around great team. And honestly though, this Warriors trio will, in my opinion, I think they'll go back to being really really good. Can Draymond find his shooting? You hope so. He will certainly have an easier time shooting with Clay back on the floor. Um, because the things Curry and Clay do when they're not even, the one shooting is insane. You know, um, there are people like Max Kellerman out there who are like, oh my gosh, I want equal dollar. It's just like, dude, like he was like Iguodala hit, a bunch of daggers, whatnot, though, game winners, stuff like that. If you watch those shots, how many of those are open? Like almost all of them. Like seriously. No game winners, by the way. My bad. I mean, like just really just daggers though. But clutch shots. Clutch shots. Almost all of those were open. Why? Because everyone doesn't want Steph to shoot. They don't want Clay to shoot. It's like, what do you gotta do then? It's like, okay, well, we'll take a chance on Iguodala, but we won't take a chance on Clay or Curry. Also, going back to the defense thing, a lot of people I know might say, "Oh, Draymond." From at least from what I've seen, honestly, it's like Clay guards the best perimeter guy, and then Draymond guards the biggest guy, who's the biggest, who's also an offensive threat. That's basically what it is. One thing that made them dangerous, honestly, was the fact that really though, like on ball, Clay, Draymond, Iguodala, they were pretty much clones of each other, especially someone like Clay and Draymond. Like they were like whether you switch from one or the other, that was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? And a lot of people don't believe this though, but in this past season though, Andrew Wiggins was playing like first team defense. Like I swear, this guy he was doing some insane things. And I don't think Andrew Wiggins really stays with this team. Because it's obvious defense isn't the issue though, but just maybe this the offense, because he's actually Wiggins is a great player in my opinion. Honestly, he's a great player. The problem with him though is just the contract. That's the only problem, and that sucks. But yeah. So in my opinion though, they'll probably try and swing for. This is typical team stuff, Let's try and get a 3D guy, whatever though. But I feel like them getting a big man will will do a lot for this team. You know. But seriously though, I mean they gotta there are a few people on this team that just really won't be here next year. Eric Pascal, I he's fine, but he's gotta go. James Wiseman, he's probably gonna be a really good player, but he's gotta go. Kelly Oubre, I don't see him coming back. Andrew Wiggins, just purely off financial reasons, he's gonna go in my opinion. Man, if he wasn't getting paid so much, he would be so great for this team. He really would be. But yeah, and the Warriors are gonna be so fun to watch next year. We've been in such a for a while, and it kind of stopped this past year, but for a while there was like just pure hate on the Warriors. I feel like people forgotten that before KD got there, this was such a fun team to watch though, and they, practically everyone was a fan of them except for old heads who think Steph Curry would get guarded by a defensive role player that was on their team or whatever though, just because when they see Curry play, the thing is, it's so what he's doing is so um, easy to guard when it's really not. Because come on, like, John Stockton. A lot of old heads talk about how great he was defensively and all that though, but I test, dude. Like, you put someone like Curry against Stockton, dude. Like, you can't tell me Curry doesn't cook him. Um, for what Curry does, there really is no defense for. Like, it just it really isn't. You just gonna hope he's not gonna do crazy well. You know. Because his past year, his shooting obviously was insane and whatnot, though. But you gotta remember that was really just him creating a lot of it for himself, or some assistance from Draymond and stuff like that, though. But a lot of it, I mean, all the running he does and all that, though. And next year it's gonna be worth it because with Clay back, if you thought Steph Curry was dangerous, alone, you're not prepared for what him and Clay are capable of. So next year, yeah, I expect, gosh, like at least a top five seed in the West, honestly. And you never know. This team can end up winning 70 games, honestly, because it's obvious Curry isn't slowing down. And he is an MVP and he is a superstar. You know, and so yeah. Honestly, I so many things though, and the thing is though too that this is a smart team. And I guarantee we'll see some moves be made. Probably primarily defense though. But yeah, hopefully get Harrison Barnes though. Have a whole reunion, honestly. But in reality though, Harrison Barnes he actually would be like a pretty solid piece on this team. But yeah, this team is gonna. I feel like I don't know, a lot of people like to say Rain Chaser's gonna go to the Nets or whatever though, but I feel like they might go to the Warriors too, just because of the NBA players. They know more than us fans. So they'll. I wouldn't be surprised if a few solid players here and there really go to the Warriors, just because they believe in their chances of winning a title. Um, but yeah, so yeah, next year at least top five seed in the West for me. Um, and yeah, hopefully Clay comes back healthy. Honestly, I he's not one of my favorite players or anything, but it sucks to see players injured. Especially star players. And players as weird as Clay, because I mean this guy's like a number two, but like he'll score like a number one. He'll score like a superstar, and it's crazy though. What the scoring he's capable of. So yeah. Let's hope everything works out. Again, at least top five seed in my opinion. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.